Hello again, this is Dr. Carlos Altamirano from Tijuana, Mexico. Today I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly about whalers surgery. Well, the good, because there are a lot of things to say about whaler surgery. The good is that whaler surgery is going to reprogram your set point. The amount of energy you need for survival. So instead of thinking this is the right amount of energy, we're going to reprogram it to this level, and your brain is going to detect an excess of energy, so you're going to start burning it. We're going to decrease your hunger hormone, called ghrelin. We're going to increase your satiety hormones like CCK, PYY, amylin, and we're going to modify a group of hormones called incretins. Those are amazing because they're going to destroy the insulin resistance. That explains why diabetic patients are improving so much. I've had patients using up to 250 units of insulin a day, using no insulin at all after just a couple of days of sleeve gastrectomy, or 430 units using 8 units a day of their discharge 3 days after surgery, after a gastric bypass, and then using no insulin for the next couple of years. There are some long-term studies proving that these surgeries are safe. And the weight loss is really good, and it could be forever if you behave and you learn how to eat and exercise. The bad, well, there are some things like vitamin deficiencies, iron deficiencies, and hair loss, breather nails, and some people with some compulsive behavior or food addiction can be pretty depressed after this surgery. Because they really like eating and they can't due to this restriction and all these behavioral modifications you have to do after a surgery like this. And the ugly is that there are complications. You can have complications with a bypass, with a sleeve, but you can also have complications with a broken arm, with a gallbladder surgery, or with dental work. I mean, it's known that you can have leaks or bleedings. Those are the most common complications. Of course, leaks are the most feared complications with a sleeve or a bypass. They are probably more common with a bypass, and I mean, there are other things you can do if you detect it on time, and some people respond differently to leaks and inflammatory response. I mean, it depends. Every case is different. Of course, obese people have lower defenses. They are easier to have complications, and that's why we try to make all the arrangements so we can decrease these complications with blood thinners for preventing clottings and deep venous thrombosis, with antibiotics trying to prevent infections. And trust me, complications doesn't mean the surgeon tried to harm the patient. We are always trying to help the patient, even if it's an appendix, a gallbladder, or any kind of surgery. The surgeon never tried to hurt the patient. We're always trying to help, but complications do happen. That happens all around the world. I've talked with some world-renowned surgeons. They all have had leaks and bleedings, or accidents, or they puncture something, the aorta or some organs. I've heard a lot of stories, a lot of experiences with drains, all kinds of stories. And of course, the only way to be sure you're not going to have any complications is by doing no surgeries at all. That's the only way. So we try to decrease the risks by having a really good team, trained with all the instruments necessary, with all, ICU, ER, and all that kind of stuff. But there's always a risk. With whaler surgery, when you do it every day, the risk is really low, but it's not impossible. There are also some medical conditions that can complicate everything after surgery, heart disease or whatever. I mean, there are lots and lots of medical conditions that can make this surgery more difficult or complicate the whole thing. So, of course, it's a gamble, but I believe the risk of being obese is higher than the risk of having complications with whaler surgery. Nowadays, it's really safe to have whaler surgery, and the risk of obesity, it's happening all the time. Right now, probably you're having a higher risk of having heart attacks or deep venous thrombosis or other conditions due to overweight. So please leave your comments, let me know what you think about this video. And you want to know something else, you can make all your comments and your questions in the comment section. You can contact me through my website or my Facebook support groups, and I will be willing to answer all your questions. We can even do a video consult for free if you need more information, so I can answer all your questions. And see you next time. Bye bye.